trying to show Dad's new boots. His new boots. Move. Oh.
Yeah, this was another gift. Notice I haven't made a big deal about this one over here. But these boots, though.
Because you just love chicken so much.
I know, Rooster's at that. I mean, he needs to hush it up. He just needs to hush it up. Aren't these boots great?
They're pretty fancy.
You like the pose?
It's a good pose. It's a great pose.
Christmas, get down. Oh, Lord. Hey, folks, Lester here. Jamie is out with me. We are working in the shop, opening some gifts and some goodies. And thank y'all for joining us on this. Well, it's not early. It's noon on Sunday. And I want you to know that we're coming live now because we're not going to be going live this afternoon because Jake and Lissa are going to be doing their wedding ceremony live at the same time as we normally go live. And we're not, we thought about competing with them for that, but I thought, you know what, let's just give Jake and Lissa their moment to shine. Gosh, who plans a wedding right dab in the middle of Jamie and Lester's Sanctuary Sunday? Oh my God. Who would do that, Jamie? Who would do that? Yeah, Jake and Lissa did that, and that's fine. I believe that 7 o'clock for us is 4 o'clock for them in Alaska. And so they're going to be going live at our 7 o'clock, their 4 o'clock. Not sure what time it is for you all. And so we will see what happens with all of that. Let's hope that they don't have signal issues or technical issues, and they can record their live wedding, which will be great. I don't know all of the details of what's going to happen. I know there's not going to be a wedding here. They're only going to have a party back here, kind of a reception or something. Details are very sketchy. No, to be honest, no one really knows. Do you know any more than I know?
I think that there's a lot of unknown in that.
So,
hear about it whenever it's time.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. There's a whole lot of unknowns. No one knows what's going to happen when they get back. There's been a little bit of speculation about maybe this or maybe that or maybe this, lots of maybes. But I do think that Daniel and Lou are going to have a big to-do in Dan's shop. They'll set it all up and they'll have some tables and they'll do kind of a reception party. But as far as the actual wedding, I think that what we all see today or tonight on the live is about what we're going to get. And so that's fine. Not everyone makes a big deal about things like that. And then to have 2 weddings, I don't think that was in their works. So anyway, it's beautiful. Listen, thank y'all for joining us. I know we kind of popped up random here as a coming live from Longhorn Lester's. I'm hoping that I made this public on all the channels. Now I'm kind of doubting myself. What do you got there?
Here's a package for you.
Oh boy, I got quite a few things to open. You want to hang out for a minute?
I will in just a second.
I got something cute you're going to want to watch. Something that I recorded a little bit earlier that I think Jamie's going to enjoy. And let me go ahead and play that now. I got both Facebook and YouTube here. I'm going to take you out to the pond with me. You ready? I'm going to pan the camp. Christmas, get down. I'm going to pan this camera around real slow, and you tell me if you can spot the kitty. Okay, we're starting now. Here we go. Can you spot the kitty? I'm going to make an entire 360. Tell me if you can spot the kitten. It's not a kitten, it's a cat. I actually see 2 cats. Ah, okay. Well, guess what? I've made an entire 360, and I did see 2 cats. Let's zoom into the first one. Oh, it's Mr. Hank. Yeah, Mr. Hank, that's about as high as he can climb. He doesn't have any claws, and he can't really climb trees, so he goes to this one over here, and he sits there in the fork. And to him, that's like about, well, he's living a cat's life, my friends. And then
He feels so
also I see
accomplished.
White Kitty over there alongside Mr. Kenny's fence line. White Kitty, whose name's Avalanche, is just kind of out doing his thing, or her thing.
I'll go ahead and stop it right there and remove that.
So hold on.
You all saw the kitty. What?
I didn't have him declawed. That was an accident.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know the story, right?
I don't know Mr. Hank's entire story. So so I may have made a blunder in my video, because what I said was, back when you lived in Illinois and Mr. Hank was a city cat, he only had access to the backyard, which was a closed-in backyard. So y'all had him declawed so he could not get out of the yard.
I didn't have him declawed, though.
Oh.
So I was bringing him into the vet to get neutered, and he came back declawed because the vet confused a different cat with him.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
Well, no, I didn't know that, Jamie. But nonetheless, Mr. Hank has been declawed.
He has no claws.
So that's why he has to hang out in the tree, that little low level. The other cats can go all the way up. Mr. Hank can go to that one fork in the tree and kind of hang out there. Let me go show you that again real fast. I love that. It's so sweet. Let me back up a little bit. Here he comes. Here comes Mr. Hank, the declawed kitty. Look at him.
Poor Hanky.
And he feels so darn accomplished when he does that, y'all. That's about as high as he can get. He does go up into the loft here behind us. He can walk up the stairs and get up nice and high, and he feels so cat-like up there. Well, I'd forgotten that story, Jamie. I'd forgotten that story.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Everybody say hi to Jamie. She's slowly making her appearances here and there. Yesterday was her first trip to Tractor Supply. Did you video that?
Oh, just some of it, just a little bit.
When are you going to play that video?
Probably tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Maybe tomorrow. And then listen, we're not going, I want to make sure that you all hear what I'm about to say. We're not going to do our usual timeout, our Sanctuary Sunday, which normally is Sunday at 7 p.m. our time. But we're not going to do that today. Jake and Lissa are getting married during that same time. And they're going to try to record that live or have that done live. So we'll be watching that along with many of you. So hopefully you will allow this. What's wrong?
I'm going to say, I'm reading comments and it's going to make me cry. So I'm going to step away.
Okay. Jamie she does not want to cry. She does not want to cry. And then when the video first started, I know Facebook may not have been here yet, but I did get a gift of a really neat pair of boots. Look at that. This is a Hycea, which is a very nice brand. It's a low-cut boot, though. It's rubber, steel toe, very solid boot, but lightweight. And what I like about that is these boots are easily able to be slipped on, and they're not clunky. Now, listen, I did receive a pair of Hycea boots last year, during around the same time last year, and these are great. The top does fold down in case you don't want to have that high boot all the way up to your knee. And sometimes you don't need the high boot. Sometimes a low boot is fine. But I will say the difference in this boot and the boot that I'm wearing now, I'll take it back off again, is night and day as far as comfort. And I'm just going to give you a brand new word, clunkiness. This boot it's not clunky. It fits your foot. It has that, I don't know the material that you guys would probably know the name of. It kind of reminds you of the stuff that a bodysuit, like a scuba suit, might be made out of. I don't know. But it slides right on my foot. It's a low-cut boot, and it fits so comfy. And I'm able to go all over this place, still keeping my feet dry, but not having an extra weight that I'm like carrying around leg weights with. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much, that kind sender. And this here might be the best boot. Neoprene. Neoprene is correct. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies, for telling me that. I knew there was a word. Neoprene is the material, at least on the inside of the boot, and it does keep your foot dry and warm. And like I said, the boot conforms to my foot. So it's not like boom, 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 wobbling around as I walk. Most rubber boots, and I have a lot of rubber boots. I mean, working on a farm or around the ranch, especially in these bad weather days, you need a good boot. But not all boots are made the same. They're not. Not all boots are made the same. So I'll show you one last time. I love this. And I'm not trying to encourage you all to go out and buy a pair, but I tell you what, move, Chrissy. You can't be right here in my face. Christmas is just determined to sit on my lap during this live, and I'm not going to let her. So thank you so much for that. I did get a couple of other things I thought you might would enjoy looking at. Here we go. This is a sign for our driveway over at the J&L. Private drive, no bobbing for apples. I can't imagine the reaction to people when I stick that up over there. Most people, they will not get what it means. They're not going to get what it means. So I'm going to have to go by to anyone who asks and explain. And I don't know how that's going to go. I have no idea how that conversation is going to go. Yeah, so I've caught some people here bobbing for apples. A couple of guys were the last ones I caught. You know, I'm not going to probably have to do that. I'm just going to probably just say, just shake my head. We did get some other signs that were not as coded. They just say no trespassing. And one of them says no parking. Violators will be towed at the owner's expense. And so we're going to put a couple of signs up. But that's not today, y'all. We have a lot bigger problems over there. I'm not going to call them problems because what's happening at the J&L is actually a good thing, a good problem. We're getting materials. We're getting some rock. We're getting some things taken care of over there. But you have to remember that not every masterpiece starts off as a masterpiece. It's kind of just a blank slate. And it takes a lot of time. If you remember how sloppy it was around I'm a Survivor back when we were getting the trees cut there in the back from Mr. Leo and his crew, all the ruts they made across our pastures. It looked like a war zone back in the back pasture for a while. His tractor was so big it knocked post out of the fence, along the fence that I had to straighten back out. When we dug our ponds over there, all the mud that was all over the yard, and it was just a mess. And then here at Longhorn Lester's, building all the fences and working on the driveway and the pond, a lot of projects sometimes things look worse before they begin to look better. And so we know that's going to happen. And at the J&L right now, it looks pretty sloppy. So we're not bragging about how beautiful. What we are bragging about is how much space our cows have, how much nutrition, 2 ponds, lots of shade, beautiful hills, green grass. And those are the things that we're super excited about for now. But with time, we're going to be able to put great fencing. We'll rock our driveway. And that's just going to take a little bit of time, my friends. It's going to take a little bit of time. So we're excited about that. But we do know it's going to be some time. I think that we realized yesterday, oh no.
I got a sign. Do you see it?
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all.
And you got this.
I thought they were a cookie at first. I got something I'm going to read to y'all real fast. Remember, friends, that if gifts and goodies is not your jam, and there are some people that just do not like to watch other folks receive a blessing. Oh, Lord. What is that? I thought this was already behind us. I thought we'd already buried the spoon, if you will. I thought we'd buried the spoon, y'all. Don't they call it bury the hatchet? I thought we'd already buried the spoon. Not buried the hatchet. I thought we buried the spoons. But no, I guess some of y'all just want to keep that alive. You just can't stop imagining Jamie giving me the old big spoon and me being a little spoon. Oh, Lord. Someone got this for Jamie. I wish I could take your pain and give it to someone who we both really hate. Give your pain to someone we both really hate. We don't hate anybody, y'all. Come on now. Stella, move away, sweetie. Now Stella's trying to get her turn over here in front of the camera. They're all wondering why we are not over at the J&L this morning. We're going. We have a busy day ahead of us, but we wanted to wake up and do some jobs over here first. So yes, I'll just go ahead and finish up the whole J&L thing right quick. We are going to get the fencing done. We're going to also get rock in our driveway. So all the oh my gosh, the disaster that unfolded yesterday right there on a live video. And then I continued that into this morning's I'm a Survivor video. It'll be on Longhorn Lester's, I think, this afternoon or tomorrow, one day on YouTube. It was messy. It was bad. There was the delivery driver who was bringing the fence materials got stuck twice. Yeah, he got stuck twice in the driveway, and we had to have the police come over and help him back his rig out, his 18-wheeler, back it out onto the highway. So we literally had the entire highway, the interstate was shut down. It was shut down, y'all. And I felt so embarrassed, but the guy was unable to drop off the materials because you have to work from both sides of that 18-wheeler. You use your forklift and you work from both sides to unload it. But there was just nowhere to unload. There was no space for him to use that forklift because our pastures were so boggy, muddy, and he was creating all kinds of ruts. And so at some point I had to say, stop. You're going to get stuck with your forklift. You've already gotten stuck with your truck twice. And it was just a disaster. So they did reschedule that delivery for Thursday, which means the fence guys cannot start until probably the next week, weather permitting. But like I said, yeah, I'm excited. I'm just Yancey. I think the word is I'm just biting at the bit to have that fence put up and get all of our animals situated and sorted, and so we can kind of start looking ahead to future projects. But what we have to do is make sure that we do it right. And so if that means putting it off a week or putting it off 2 weeks, then that is what it is. I already told Randall that it's not your fault, sir. It's not your company's fault that we got so much rain. If we'd gotten a couple of inches, they'd probably be working today. But no, it was 13 inches, and that's a lot of water for a pasture that the soil content is mostly clay, and that clay holds water for so long, and it turns to mud. And then once you have mud, you just can't work. So we have to dry it out for a bit. And then tomorrow morning, we were going to have our rock delivered. I'm going to have to call and cancel the rock order as well, because you can't be dropping off rock and spreading rock when your truck is making new ruts. You're going to be wasting a lot of rock just trying to fill those ruts. And we don't want to do that. We'd rather go ahead and let it dry up. I'll take the tractor and try to do a little smoothing everything out, getting it packed down right. And then when you bring those rock in, you won't be sinking down a foot into the mud, and your rock will go a whole lot further. So there's some setbacks, but that's what happens, my friends. You can't control Mother Nature, and we're not going to try to do that. We're just going to go ahead and be patient and consider the blessing that in the next few weeks or the next month, we will have all of our fencing done, and hopefully we'll have our rock on the driveway. And then that will be the first step in getting all the cows lined out. And that, I think that's going to be the first milestone. Well, getting the cows over there was great. Having what we got, 13, 14, 15. How many cows are over there total, including little Gary? And Gary makes 14? So having the 14 cows over there living their best life, y'all, they really are. So I'm not going to be able to have another live tonight. Someone just asked that. I saw that comment come up in all bold. It's because Jake and Lissa are getting married tonight, and they're going to be, no, they're not here. They're in Alaska, and they will be getting married in Alaska, but they are going to Facebook Live their wedding. So we're going to be watching that along with many of you all. So the letter that comes with the little spoons, I'll go ahead and read that now. Hey, Lester, since so many people are giving you a hard time about being the little spoon, I thought I would send you a couple from Iowa. The one with the bridge is one of the bridges of Madison County in Winterset, IA.
Oh, that's a movie.
Is IA Indiana?
No, it's Iowa.
IA is Iowa?
Uh-huh.
Then the other one is Page County. That's the county I live in. Just wanted to say thank you for all of the amazing videos. They're what keep me going. Sending you and Jamie, and of course, all the babies, love, hugs, and prayer. Well, thank you so much. And then she also made some keychains. And so we appreciate that. One of those keychains, she says, is in memory of Maggie. I bet that's the one that has Lester's name on it. So I'll open that up. Speaking about Maggie, I recorded something. Well, we've been playing a few throwback videos for a while. I did do a recording of a throwback video, the one that had it was the Run Maggie Run video that the Dodo created. I think it had 9 million views on it. So it'll be a really fun video to watch when I post that.
I'm pretty sure this is for you too. It didn't have a name, but I think that's for you too.
Oh, Lord. Now I got the wooden spoon. Well, at least it's not a little spoon. So there was no name on it, but I got me a big, the wooden,
It's a big spoon.
it's a big spoon. Or it could be a spanky stick. No spanky stick. Thank y'all for that. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to see what some of the chatter is about. I like to keep up with what you guys are doing. So Kim Court says, definitely not. He knew before that video what was going to happen. Could someone fill me in on what we're talking about, Kim? He knew before the video what was going to happen. What are we talking about over here? I want to know. The wedding is at 4 o'clock their time. It's 7 o'clock here, our time. So I don't know exactly what we're talking about over here, Kim, but if you're thinking that we knew ahead of time about that's just what I'm curious about. Oh, thank you so much. Where's it at? Happy birthday, Ellie, says Amy. So Amy knows that I did make a birthday tribute to Ellie. Yesterday was his birthday, 27. He had already had plans for the day, so we weren't able to do stuff. He took Megan to his mom's house, and then they had a wrestling event. Ellie and Megan, both of them love wrestling. Yeah, we're kind of a wrestling family. Lex likes wrestling. I liked wrestling growing up. And so it's neat that we have 3 different generations of wrestling. And we all have our experiences from when we were little and all that we did. So I did make a video tribute to Ellie where I got a little bit emotional. I tried to hold it together for most of it. And I put that on Facebook yesterday. And I put it on YouTube this morning. So everyone has a chance to watch that, no matter if you watch Facebook or YouTube. So, yes, tonight is the Jake and Lissa. And then I will say it again because a lot of people are saying that, what about the wedding in Plum Grove? I don't think, guys, I'm not the expert. I haven't been told that there's going to be a wedding in Plum Grove. As a matter of fact, what I've been told, not by Jake or Lissa, is there's only going to be kind of a party, a reception here in Plum Grove. I don't think that they want to have 2 weddings. So trust me, it's not that anybody would not want to have a second wedding, because I'm sure all the family here would love to see Jake get married. We never thought it would happen. We never thought he would ever find anybody. We always thought he would die old. He would grow old and die alone. What?
So mean. We both thought that about you.
Oh, boy. Get away. Now Trixie's walked up to get her some loving. Well, let me open another one of these gifts over here. Ooh, I almost knocked my computer off. Jake mentioned there would be a party. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Guys, it's not that we're in the dark about everything, but I will say that this has been one thing that has been kept in the dark. I think everyone's in the dark because nobody knows. Nobody here knows. Yeah, they have a lot going on, and I understand that. Huh? A nut picker upper. I don't think so. Because I don't see a way for nuts to get inside this. Jamie says it's a nut picker upper. But I'm going to have to say I don't think so. I think that this here goes into one end and that goes into the other like this. Is there a handle? Oh. And then there is a handle. A nut picker upper.
Look, it spreads when you put it down over top of it.
So you just set it over the top of the nuts and
you just push it and it goes in.
Let me see this. Do we have any nuts?
Just you.
I'm the nut. Is that what you're saying? I'm a nut?
A little bit.
All right, so this is the nut picker upper, Jamie. And you just roll it across the ground and the nuts will slide into it through these open up a little bit. And you put it on top of the nut, roll around, and it fills up with nuts. So that's interesting. I wish I had something to put in here to demonstrate. Dog food's going to be too small. The dog food kernels are going to fall right out. Well, thank you for this. Now, this is going to be used at not this property here. We don't have nuts growing here yet. Yeah, we don't have pecans here. We only have fig nuts. But someone says you could use that for dog balls, pool balls. All right, so here I have a couple of these are. How do you show people what you got in your hand? These are nuts. And I'm going to put these onto these are pecans. I'm going to put them onto the ground. Can you hold this? And I will hold the camera to where Christmas, don't eat them. Wait. Okay, go ahead. Is it working?
Yeah.
Show me. Oh, so it scooped them all up.
Mm-hmm.
Chrissy has one in her mouth.
Okay.
Is that going to hurt her?
No.
Christmas has one.
That's pretty neat.
So looky here. So yeah, so you just run it across the ground and it picks up all the nuts. You have to lean over and grab them. So there you go. A nut picker upper. I'm hoping that Facebook's not saying, what's he talking about? This weirdo, this freak is, yeah, who knows? Well, Jamie loves her nuts. I'm just going to skip right over that one. Huh? We're just going to say pecans. Jamie loves her pecans. I'm opening up something else here. It looks like some kind of a fabric-y material. Where'd the hoodie come from, Longhorn Lester? Oh, I think that you know. This was a gift that someone sent me because they know how much I love roosters. Yeah, I'm not really wearing overalls. This is all one piece here. Oh, Lord. Yeah, my principal, my boss for all of those years told us that she goes, if your kids ever send you something for Father's Day or for Christmas or your birthday, be it a tie or be it whatever they take you, a cologne, you have to let them see you wear it. You have to, because they're never going to get the full enjoyment of being able to give a gift and receive that blessing of giving that gift if they don't see it being used. And so we try to remember that whenever we get something gifted over here, we try to show it. We can't always show it the day we actually open it, but we'll try to open things up and use them. I don't know if this is for me or you, Jamie.
Why?
Oh, wait, is that a hairy oh my gosh. Well, it's not for you. I know that now. What is this? Who would have sent this to me? And are we very late in opening this? Because this is a Christmassy type outfit.
Oh my God.
It's
See the back?
the back. It looks like a hairy-chested man. This is a hairy-chested man with Merry Christmas across his belly.
You have a bit of a tramp stamp on the back.
And I have a tramp stamp across the back.
Keep turning.
I can't see.
You don't need to see. They just need to see. Back up.
Can they see there? Yes. Well, you flatter me. I don't think I'll be wearing this out. Okay, this could be my Someone says there's a butt crack. Is there a butt crack?
There's just a hair.
It's just hair. Lots and lots of back hair. Okay. Well, thank you, kind sender. I got a couple more here. Attention, King Carl and Prince Tat. Oh, this ought to be interesting. So, a lot of folks have been asking us, have y'all gotten my gift? Have you gotten my gift? Did you get my gift? Friends, we're not able to do it that way. Yes, this would be a great ugly sweater contest, Jamie. This could be the ugly sweater contest winner. Absolutely. So this comes to Carl and Tat. I'm going to be very careful how I open these. They look to be fragile. Ooh, wee. Oh, well, there's Santa riding on one of them. These are Christmas ornaments, Jamie. Are we that far behind on our gifts and goodies?
Some stuff is still coming in late. Like one of the gifts I ordered for Lex for Christmas just came in this week.
Well, people can't be upset. We have had quite the setback with Jamie's accident and all of that stuff, y'all. So you have to understand that. And I think that most of y'all have shown us a lot of grace. Okay, so we do got two of them, two of the same things. So we got a Tat and a Carl with Santa on his back, on their backs. That's beautiful. We will put this with our Christmas stuff. I'll set it there in the box for now. And I will move that over to, we have a tote up in the attic with all of our Christmas stuff there. I'll move that over there to it a little bit later. I got a couple more here. Y'all can bear with me a couple more minutes. To Lester Morrow. This comes from San Antonio. So I'll just give you a little bit of a, I'm not griping. I'm not being negative at all. I'm trying to be positive. But just remember that we ask you politely. Well, first of all, we tell you that please don't send us anything, y'all. I want you to learn to spend money on yourself. But for those of you that are determined to send stuff, I would rather you try to send it to the sanctuary, because over there we have people who help us gather packages and open them. And then we will just, it saves us a whole lot of time. What you cannot do is send stuff to Longhorn Lester's. We are not set up here. We're not set up here to receive gifts. We have a gate that closes as we pass through. And the mail lady has told us so many times how, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to tell you all the way she told me that she's never been so busy in her life as she is now that we've moved in here. And that was not our intent to make her life more difficult. But she's having to make 3 trips now, all the way from the post office in Livingston, where she works out of, over here to Taylor Lake Road, just because there are so many things that come to our property here. And we're like, I tell her, I said, ma'am, I'm so sorry. We ask people not to. So people are sometimes a little bit hard-headed. But this over here are some farm animal coasters, I believe. There's a donkey. It's a goat. A little pig. And a cow.
And those are sweet and cute. There's a note for you, babe. There's one that comes to Jamie and Lester that I'll open. A card, I think. But there's also a note for Jamie. It says thank you. Okay, so thank you. And then the note. Oh, it's pretty lengthy. I probably can't read all of this right now. It's a long note. I have to clear my throat. Sorry about that. One of the most embarrassing things you have to do, we all do it, y'all. We all do it. We all have to clear our throat sometimes. We get a tickle in your throat. And have y'all ever noticed that you get those tickles in your throat at the most inopportune times? I've had those tickles during job interviews. I've had those tickles when I was trying to talk to somebody, like if I ever met a girl or something, I'm trying to talk to her. You ever had a tickle at the worst time ever? You do Zooms all the time. You never get a tickle during a Zoom?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do? Like hide yourself, cough, and come back and like it never happened?
Mm-hmm.
We've all gotten those tickles at the worst times. And so I just now had one in my throat that I had to clear. I'm not going to be able to read this. It's a comic strip, but it's so tiny. I don't have glasses. And then there's a letter that is it's lengthy. It's very lengthy. So I promise you, ma'am, I will read that first chance I get, but I just cannot read it on the actual live. And this here is for Jamie. I'll wait until she walks over to get that. So I've gotten some really neat stuff so far. The boots that I'm still wearing are amazing. Thank you so much to the Hycea boot senders. And that gives me 2 pair of great boots, a really high pair if I need to for really high water. But the ones I'm wearing right now with the low cut, boy, those are perfect. All right, there's one last thing I'm going to open unless Jamie drops off more before I'm done with the live. This has been wrapped really good. Someone not only wrapped it with Christmas wrapping, but then they put tape around the entire thing so it couldn't come open. And I understand why. It's been sent from overseas. It has all of the customs information across the top of it. So, all right, let's see. All right, so it comes from a place called Coverdale, and I'm probably saying that wrong. Coverdale. Dear Lester. Whoa. Dear Lester, I'm show you. Around the same time that I started watching your videos, I had a job interview in a store. I then saw something that instantly reminded me of you. I ended up working there for about 2 years, and before I left, I had to get this for you, but something else came in that might suit you better. I got that too. That's what I first remember me of you. So hopefully you'll both enjoy it. Lots of love, Ann. All right, so she sent 2 things that she got for me and Jamie while working in a store. I'll open mine and I'll leave Jamie's for her. So what is it that this lady could have found at her store that reminded her of me? Oh, Lord. Well, I can see what these are. I'm not going to put them on right now, but they are absolutely ostrich socks. They're ostrich socks, and they're a mismatched pair, which seems to be the going thing right now. I don't know why. Karen says, hello, Lester and Jamie. Tell Jamie I see you, and you're just as beautiful now as before. You stop hiding, girl. No matter what you look like, we'll love you even more if that's even possible. Get comfy in your own skin and timing, and we'll wait for you to feel good about you. Just know, Jamie, nothing on your face or not on your face would matter. You being alive and there with Lester is all that matters.
I'm not sure how he would have taken anything more happening to you. So laugh a little more and hug. And that's where it stops. Well, that's very kind of you, Karen. Thank you so much for that. And then thank you for the kind sender of these socks. I'm going to try to find a name on this. Christmas, nobody wants you to be up in my face. I really can't even read what that says. Can y'all read the name on that? A-N. Is it Anne? A-N-N-E? Is that Anne?
That's Ann.
I know, but I don't know if that's exactly what it says. It comes from the Netherlands. So if that helps you at all, this is the pictures on the front. That's the letter on the back. And then that right there is the name. And she's from the Netherlands. Aniki. So thank you so much, sweet lady. And I appreciate you. I'm going to make sure I hand Jamie's over to her. She is working behind me. And by choice, I did not make Jamie work. She chose to do a few gifts and goodies while I would go live so that we could let you all know about tonight, not going live tonight. So as no one would be surprised if they don't see us, you're not going to worry. We're fine. And also to remind you guys about Jake and Lissa's wedding, their Alaska wedding that will be happening around 4 o'clock this afternoon, their time, 7 o'clock our time. So I'm not sure what time it'll be on your channel based on where you live in the country, obviously, or in the world. So, yeah, Jamie is keeping busy. It's pronounced Anka. Anka. Okay. Well, thank you for that. You want to open this?
Oh, okay.
And then you have this over here to open as well. Want to take my chair?
No.
Take my chair.
Aw. I got socks too. And they're piggies.
Oh, you got little piggy socks.
Cute. Thank you. Hold up.
So this comes from the Netherlands, from overseas.
That's so crazy. It's so crazy to say I know someone in Scotland or I know someone in the Netherlands or the UK or South Africa.
So here's my question to you. This is going to be crazy because I'm embarrassed about this. If you saw a blank map, a European map, could you point out which country is the Netherlands?
Yes.
You could?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're better than I am. I could pick out all of the larger countries, maybe. You know, the same thing. I couldn't pick out any of the islands. I would not know.
We're way behind. It's a Christmas gift, and it's a lady named Connie. Got the Connolly Bel Air family, and she said that she's been watching since before Dixie and knows that Dixie's probably up with Uncle Raleigh pulling him around in her wagon.
In the wagon.
Super sweet.
That's sweet.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, I bet you that if those gifts were from Christmas, we are behind, y'all. We're very behind.
Sorry. I kind of.
You slowed everything down, Jamie. Everything
fault.
came to a screeching halt when you had to go off and get yourself hurt.
I know.
But yesterday we made a fun video. It wasn't fun. It was talking about the first time that Jamie almost died. And a lot of folks never heard that story. But, Jamie's had several farm incidents.
Some we've never even talked about because
most we've never talked about because people can't always handle the true farm life. And so, farm life is a difficult and challenging job. Many of you who've been around farm families know, or if your family was into farming, you've seen accidents happen. And people do lose their life on ranches and farms, and they can get crippled and they can, have very serious injuries. Things happen. There's a lot of tractors moving around, machinery.
Especially when you're working with animals. So,
the unpredictability of your animals, it's challenging. And so sometimes some things we could probably avoid if by better planning, and some things just happen, and it's just chance. But yeah, so Jamie getting kicked in the face by the horse was tough, y'all. It was scary. But there was another incident that happened several years back, and it was during a similar flood of what we just had. I don't think it was Imelda, was it? But we had let Tex out of the pasture. But
Actually, it was Imelda.
I don't think it was Imelda because we were so busy with Imelda moving animals. I don't think we
It
had
was
time.
Imelda.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Imelda because
Well, that's a small detail, babe.
Oh,
That's not the
sorry.
main point. The main thing is we had floodwaters all up around the house. We
you
had
knock over your computer.
move, sweetie. We had a Morrow Hill was an island to ourselves, and we were completely surrounded by water, which happens. That's what happens when you live along the river. And what happened was when the water began to fill, come up into the pastures, we went ahead and opened our gates, not knowing for sure what would happen with all of the with the water. You didn't really know at what point would it stop, and you want to give your animals their best chance for survival. Babe, she got my socks. And so we opened up all of the gates. My dad opened up all of his gates, and you would have thought that Tex and Billy, at this point, they were separated by standing water. Billy's over on his dry patch with his cows. Tex is over on his dry lot with his cows, his female friends. But no, Tex decides to go ahead and wade through the water over to see what Billy's up to. Just because he wanted to fight Billy so bad, just had to fight him. So Tex goes off, wading across water that was too deep for us to wade across. We get on the side by side and drive across, trying to deter Tex and trying to knock him, get him off his beeline for Billy. Billy at that point starts hollering back. So now these two bulls begin to clash in the flood water. They are actually fighting in the flood water. And so the water was only up to about their bellies, but they're sitting here and they're just pounding horns and they're just like pushing each other around. That's the day that Tex got his horn behind Billy's horn, twisted and broke, boom, completely broke Billy's horn. Billy's horn used to come up, and now that one goes down. Now Billy is like that wee little puppy, so tender. No, I got a wee little puppy, so tender. You know the puppy song. So now Billy's with one horn down, one horn up. However, that jar to his head and breaking of that horn must have been excruciating pain, and it completely knocked Billy out. So Billy goes down hard. But remember, they were fighting in the water. That means that now Billy is knocked out underwater. So I run out into the water and I'm trying to grab Billy's horns, the one that worked, his real horn, not the one that was just dangling, but the real horn. And I had to lift. Now, Billy has a huge head. Thank God that it was buoyant because I was able to lift it up and hold it above water. Jamie was there with me, and I knew that we had to get Billy out of that water because he was going to drown. I didn't know if he was alive at that point. He may have already been dead. I didn't know. But I says, I have to run home, get the tractor. While I'm gone, you have to hold Billy's head out of the water. Don't let him die here. So poor Jamie wades out into that water. She's holding Billy's head. Now, you can imagine how heavy that was. Uncle Dan comes out. He's trying to run Tex back somewhere because Tex still wants to fight. My dad's out there screaming, hollering, cursing, just everything that can come out of my dad's mouth is coming out of my dad's mouth. I go home, get the tractor. I come back. We hook on to Billy's legs, and we start to pull him out of the water. We have to pull him backwards out of the water. Jamie was going to walk along and hold his head up out of the water while we pulled him back out. And about midway through, Billy begins to come around. He begins to come around, but his legs are tied. And so he can't really get his legs under him. And so he begins to thrash. He's thrashing whatever he can. And in all of that thrashing, he ends up knocking Jamie down. Now Jamie's underwater. Uncle Dan is gone chasing Tex. My dad's sitting there, he wasn't able to help a whole lot because he's my dad, but he could sure shout orders and directions. And we had to jump off and get Jamie up. Man, that was scary. But luckily, Jamie came out unscathed, just a little. She's probably had more trauma as far as the emotional scar. She's probably very, very scarred by that. Billy was fine. He ended up getting onto his own 2 feet. We had to put Tex back in the pasture. Rising water or not, Tex is going to have to live in the pasture because he can't be trusted anywhere else. But yeah, that video came out. I talked about that yesterday. The day Jamie almost died the first time. That girl had to undergo. Yeah, talk about baptism by fire. Oh no, Lisa had 6 ribs and a broken collarbone by a bull. Guys, I tell you what, we love our bulls. You love all of your animals, but I'm not going to say that it's safe. Farm life and trying to do the day-by-day operations is not easy, and it's not safe. It's absolutely not safe. But we wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know exactly if it's arguing. What I try to do is just avoid the comments because it makes it to where I can't focus on what I want to say to you all. But boy, sometimes things come up and I can see people are arguing. And all I'm going to do is just remind you again, not to let that take away your joy. Don't let someone steal your joy. Remember, guys, those that come onto an internet page to argue are the same ones that have no joy. And they have no joy. And so they have to find joy in something. So what they get their kicks from is riling everybody up. So I'm proud of myself, man. I've been so good this new year. I've gone 28 days of keeping it positive. 28 days of keeping it positive. I love that about myself. And so, yeah, you guys got to find that also. And what you can do is just remember what you can do. The thing that will drive those people the most crazy is if you'll completely ignore them. Or just simply put, if they say something that you think is mean or cruel or provoking others to anger, looking for a fight, then don't be mean to them. Just type "Bye, Felicia." Comment to them. In their initial comment, you reply and put "Bye, Felicia." And if enough people agree that what they're doing is looking for trouble, then later when either me or the moderator will go back, all of those comments that get multiple comments off of them, they'll go to the top of the line. And then I can find those comments very easily. And I will decide then if that's something that's worthy. If that's just a basic opinion, it's an opinion. No harm, because everyone's entitled to their opinion. But if they were in fact looking to entice a fight or an argument or just trying to provoke us to anger, then we'll handle that. But it's not going to ever help by you arguing back. Never. I will say one more thing, and this is not Lester being political, but it's trying to remind you all that the news that you watch. Hold on, how do I say this the right way? I'm trying to find the right way to say this where I am neutral and I'm in the middle. And I'll just say this, that not all topics that you want to discuss, not everybody is as informed as you are, depending on what channel they watch on the news. That's right. Most of us watch news channels. We watch some form of news. But if you don't already know this, the news that you see on this channel is going to be completely different headlines than the news on this channel. And I didn't say any channel, so you don't have to start getting crazy with me. But that is true. As of this morning, I can promise you that half of the country has no idea what's going on in Texas. I'm curious. I'm just going to ask. And see if you guys even know. But I bet you half of our audience this morning, we have 9,000 folks watching right now. And I can bet you that out of those 9,000 folks, I bet you half of you folks have no idea what's happening in Texas. And that's because you are tuning into a news source that doesn't want you to know. And it's sad because I do believe that the only way to properly report the news is to report the news. You don't report on pieces of the news and leave out other pieces. But there are major, and when I say major, I don't mean just we're just going to put a little smoke screen over here and try to deter and try to hide. There's major news happening in Texas right now that could be, I'm just going to say, life altering for a whole lot of us, maybe all of us, the entire country possibly. And it's sad to know that not everyone knows what's happening when something is so major. And it has really gotten us Texans on high alert. And but then when I go look at the headlines on the other channels, I realize real fast that it's everything except for what's happening here. And I'm thinking, how can something so major be happening right here in our country that's going to alter the history of our country? And half of you guys have no idea. You have no idea. And that's, well, I mean, if you're sitting there right now and you don't know what's going on, then you might want to just kind of browse around and say, hey, wait, what's going on in Texas? What's going on in Texas right now? And even then, if you go to that same channel, you're not going to ever hear it because they don't want you to hear it. And that's not me being political, because guess what? I never said which side is which, because I think that both sides are guilty of that. I do. I think that both major news networks, when I say major, I mean the ones that most people get their news from, I think that they both will hide things they don't want you to know and hope that you never take the time to get out of your comfort zone and explore the other channels because they don't want you to know. But you can see now all of the people who are commenting on Texas means that a lot of people know what's happening. And if you don't know, I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset with you. I'm just telling you that we all should be more informed of everything going on in our news, not just what our local news wants us to hear based on their narrative and their personal agenda. And that shouldn't create any arguing. It's just trying to, if there was a hurricane headed right towards you, you would want to know that. You would need to know that. If there was something major that could be life altering and life changing headed right for you, you need to be aware of those things. And that's what our news sources should be doing. And they're not. They're not. They don't want you to know. And that's sad to me. Well, I wasn't trying to get political. Now, we're not going to argue over here either. If what you have to learn to do is what I did, and just try to find a way to say it in a neutral way. You have to find ways to say things in a neutral type of way. But I don't know. It's scary. The reason I even bring it up is because it's quite scary. And then you could say something that Barbara just now said. I don't come here to watch the news, Lester. I don't know. You don't come to watch the news, Miss Barbara. But what I will tell you is this, Miss Barbara. If you don't think that the government can shut down social media or remove things from social media, then what you're doing is being fed what the government wants you to eat. You're eating out of their kitchen now. You're eating out of their kitchen. And I think that all of us deserve to know the truth. Now, granted, the truth sometimes can differ from person to person, but to completely hide what's happening, completely hide it, smoke screen around it, kind of sad, kind of scary, and very unbecoming of someone who calls himself a news source. We've seen that for so long, though, y'all. That was long before the social unrest of 2020. We've seen the news sources have their own narratives long before 2016 elections. This has been going on for so long, but it's scary what's happening in Texas, and not knowing what the impact is going to be, not only there around the border, but how it's going to affect us up here as far up as Houston. And then, of course, when you start getting troops involved and law enforcement involved, then it gets to be real scary. But that is what's going on today. Thank y'all so much for all of the wonderful gifts. You're so kind. I see that Jamie has finally called an end to what she was doing. That corner looks a whole lot cleaner now than what it did yesterday. Yeah. So Ben comes by and opened all the packages, took care of all of our boxes, and he left all of the gifts there for us to go through. What he'll do is leave, if there's a gift card or a gift receipt where I have a name or a letter, he'll leave that with the gift. So I'm able to go by when we have time, me or Jamie, and look through the gifts and sort things where they belong and stuff. So we appreciate that. We absolutely appreciate you guys doing that. Thank y'all for your love and your support for Jamie and for myself. We are going to continue what we do and just keep taking care of these animals as long as we can and the best that we can. We will absolutely get back to the J&L. I'll be going there in a few minutes, getting back to little Gary and taking care of our animals. Someone says false news or fake news goes all the way back to the Kennedy era. I don't know. I have no idea. I wasn't around then. But yeah, fake news has gone on for long enough for both parties. It's so ridiculous. I don't know why. I don't really know the downfall of a truly unbiased news. I don't see how that could hurt them. I don't see how anyone could truly be hurt by an absolutely unbiased news. But no matter what channel you watch, you can pretty much pick out the bias. Especially if you watch both news sources and you see what they're saying, and then you know that this is the truth. That's their version. That's their version. It's kind of like when you go to court and you're in a child custody or a divorce proceedings, and the judge is going to tell you real fast. He goes, hold on. Y'all can argue all you want. I know what she's going to say. I know what he's going to say. But what I need to know is the truth, which means that she's going to give you her version of how horrible he is, and he's going to give you his version of how horrible she is. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to find out the truth, to help solve this and get us all on our way, get life back to norm for everybody. Well, there goes the dogs. So, well, listen up. I got these amazing boots, and I'm going to take advantage of them. I'm going to walk around a little bit and show them off to the animals, walk down towards the river. So I have a few things to do. I will also make my way over to the J&L ranch in a little bit, and I will certainly need boots for over there. So I have a pair. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the wonderful gifts and goodies. And if you don't send gifts and goodies, thank you for just being a part of the videos. You guys don't know how much you mean to us just by participating in a comment or a liking, sharing a video, telling a friend about the channel. When those annoying ads pop up, if you can find a way to watch the first one and then skip the second one, that helps so darn much. And then we always tell you, if you come across one of those ads that's going to be 5 minutes, don't watch that mess. Just skip it. You don't have to watch it. We're not going to ever want you to put yourself out of, just for us. So we're fine. Okay. So my football predictions. Here we go. So I am also under the assumption that a lot of American football is rigged. I think that there's an absolute script. I don't know how many people are into it or in on it, but I do believe it will one day be exposed that the NFL, as much as we hate to hear it, had a little bit of help here and there, probably by the referees. And so I do think that the NFL would like to see the Ravens versus the 49ers or the Lions? I don't know. What I think we're going to see are the Chiefs versus the 49ers or the Lions. But I don't know that for a fact. But a lot of people are saying that it's all scripted. Stop betting, stop buying into things that have already been scripted out for you. So I don't know. Totally rigged. People are saying totally rigged. Chiefs and Lions. Ravens. I know one lady who messaged me up. We talk quite a bit. And she is a big time Ravens fan. And so I know she's happy. My son, who is probably the biggest Chiefs fan that I know he's happy. So we will see who wins out of those two. So my personal preference is I would like to see the Ravens. I think that, listen, I've seen about enough of the Chiefs. This is my opinion, and don't be mad at me. We don't have to, guys, I love you despite who you root for today, okay? I will love you, and I will accept you despite who you choose to root for in today's football games. But my personal opinion is that the Chiefs have gotten this big inflated ego. The Chiefs feel like they're like a prima donna type team, and how dare you for not a
football game today?
yes. How dare you for not, I don't know. I think the Chiefs have just get off of me, girls. All three of the dogs are right here trying to get onto my lap. But no, I just think the Chiefs have gotten quite a bit spoiled, and the attitudes, their demeanor, from especially their quarterback, who thinks that he does no wrong. He can't take blame for anything. He only wants to blame others for his mistakes. Oh boy, who does that? Who does that? No, we don't do that here. Oh, so I'm going to vote. I'm going to go for the Ravens. I think that they're just more of a humble team. And I think that Andy Reid allowing the Chiefs to do all those ridiculous show-off type plays is boastful and braggart. I've never rooted for teams like that. I've never rooted for teams that show off. And all of the goofy, the Disneyland, the little dances that they do, and the weird formation huddles, and just trying to pad stats. This is just not my thing. I want to see a good, solid football game, and I do want the best team to win. And I think that the best team is going to be the Ravens. I don't like the whole Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift, as that's like the entire focus is every time a play happens, up to the stands. What's Taylor going to be doing? What's Taylor doing? Who's Taylor sitting beside? What's Taylor doing? What's Taylor wearing when she comes in? Football, But anyway, I've talked enough about football, and I'll tell you how I know that. Our audience dropped from 9,000 down to 6,785. When I started talking football. What does that tell you right there? That we got a lot of folks who do not come to see football, which is fine. Huh? Jamie agrees. She does not care to see football. Yep. Well, listen, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and let you all go. Thank you all for the hour you spent with me this morning. It was fun opening these few gifts. There's a whole lot more neat stuff we will be showing you over time. If you are going to be out and about later, or if you're going to be available later, I will go live again from the JNL. But remember, just because someone goes live does not mean you have to sit there and stay glued. Only watch if you're entertained by what you're watching. Seriously, it's like me with that Taylor Swift. If I'm just sick of seeing Taylor Swift, then I'm not going to watch the game. If that's all they're going to show is Taylor, I'll just stop watching. I'll just read the headlines later. See who won, see the replays. So, all right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We love you so much, and we appreciate you more than you know. All right. Great football day to you all. Thank you for the hugs and the love. All right. You want to say goodbye?
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. she's working herself back, friends. She's working herself back into working in front of the camera. Yesterday, she went to Tractor Supply by herself. I was busy, and she went by herself to get dog food and a few other things. And it won't be long. I can promise you she'll be right here with us. All right. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.